All right, ladies and gentlemen, MrSotko here. Welcome back to the channel. Got a whole bunch of good crypto news stuff for you today. And we're going to jump right into it with the launch timeline for Bakkt Bitcoin futures to be clarified by early 2019. So the Intercontinental Exchange announced an update on the launch of the Bakkt Bitcoin futures contract in an official notice. December 31st, the document from ICE, the operator of the New York Stock Exchange and creator of the digital assets platform Bakkt, states, following consultation with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, ICE Futures US Incorporated expects to provide an updated launch timeline in early 2019, for the trading, clearing, and warehouse of Bakkt Bitcoin futures contracts. So it's likely that it's not going to be January 24th. The document reiterated that previously the firm had been targeting January 24th as a launch, but that the date will be amended pursuant to the CFTC's process and timeline. So it's really basically the Commodities Futures and Trading Commissions is kind of slow, which is not really particularly surprising. The Bakkt Bitcoin daily futures contract is a physically settled daily futures contract for Bitcoin held in Bakkt warehouse and will be cleared by ICE Clear US Incorporated. Each futures contract calls for delivery of one Bitcoin held in Bakkt warehouse and will trade in US dollar terms. So, moving on from that, we have more Bakkt futures news. So, we are pleased to confirm that we have completed our first round of funding of $182 million from 12 partners and investors who, like us, believe in the future of digital assets. So the partners and investors in the first round include Boston Consulting Group, CMT Digital, Eagle 7, Galaxy Digital, Goldfinch Partners, Alan Howard, Horizons Ventures, Intercontinental Exchange, and Microsoft's venture capital arm, as well as a few others like Pantera Capital. So it's 182 million funding for Bakkt futures already before it even exists, and one of them is Microsoft's venture capital firm. So not really Microsoft, but more like their venture capital firm, which is, I don't know, associated with them. So our work today is centered on driving institutional access for digital assets along with merchant and consumer uses, and we're already expanding on this vision, collaborating with great companies like Starbucks in these efforts. So yeah, Starbucks and Bakkt futures are going to be hand in hand, I suppose, which is kind of weird. But apparently they are collaborating with Starbucks. How that's going to exactly happen, who knows? But apparently you'll be able to spend your Bitcoin at Starbucks, and if you ever get a refund, you will be refunded in Bitcoin as well, instead of money. So kind of interesting how that might all work. We'll share details as the new year unfolds, but as our COO, Adam White, and I work through Bakkt's 2019 objectives, we are focused on opportunities to provide new infrastructure, including the industry's first institutional-grade regulated exchange, clearing, and warehouse services for physical delivery and storage of Bitcoin. So, Bakkt Futures is on the way, likely not on the 24th, and first raised 182 million from 12 partners, so not too bad of a start for not even existing yet. So again, Bakkt Futures is a little bit different than other futures like CME and CBOE in that they're just trading paper futures, paper Bitcoin essentially, and they could trade more Bitcoin than actually exist in existence. And you just pay with money and you get paid with money. So you're essentially like a horse race betting on Bitcoin to either go up or down. You're shorting it or you're longing it either way, and then you're getting paid in money either way. So no real Bitcoin exists with CME and CBOE, but with Bakkt, it's actual Bitcoin. So another article here, the bear market killed off nearly 1,000 coins, tokens, and projects. The crypto space has seen a steady inflow of new projects fighting for their time in the sun. The bull market in 2017 caused a new crop of coins and tokens to spread through niche exchanges. Those assets had a small following and did not line up amongst the best-known coins, and the bear market has destroyed most of those assets, data from Dead Coins shows. However, some of the minor coins and tokens remain alive, with the potential for scamming more users. The low activity and the presence of Ether Delta and other decentralized exchanges, however, does not expose those coins and tokens to many users. That's not the first dying out of digital assets. In the past, periods of optimism and bull markets led to the creation of many types of coins. At one point, anonymous coins could be generated by anyone, and they were built and died by the thousands. In 2018, getting an exchange listing became more and more difficult, meaning an ambitious but newly created coin lacked liquidity, and delistings have damaged the price and liquidity of many coins in 2018, including Bitcoin, which had renewed its marketing efforts but failed due to high volatility. Poloniex has also cut down a part of the crypto ecosystem by delisting a series of coins due to low activity. So we can see that on Deadcoins. There's a website called deadcoins.com. And it's basically just exactly that, a gigantic list of dead coins. And so they took this data from these, that all of them that died in 2017 or 2018. And so this bear market has killed at least 1,000 coins. And I won't go through this entirely, but you can see a lot of them. So like Coffee Coin, Observe Trading, 12 July 2014 at a market cap of just $3,100. So good. These guys picked it twice. Coin, the name Coin, literally. So there's just a bunch of them. And there was even Colbert Coins, a spoof of the American right wing, even though I would call him left wing for sure, because he's always ripping on any kind of Republicans, and that's all the jokes that they can make, which is funny, but getting quite a bit boring. Donation Coin, observed trading at a market cap of $1,433. So lots of dead coins. So this market is sort of flushing out of a lot of the coins, the bear market. And that could be a good thing, because people will take the money from those failed projects and put them into projects that are actually successful. And that's sort of, an issue that we see. So, if you look at CoinMarketCap, you can just scroll down to some of the coins that are in the 1,000 market cap, etc., all the way down there, and they all have hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands of dollars that could have been to a different project when they had an ICO or something, when people thought that they would go to the moon, but certainly did not. So the last thing that I want to show you guys is this article on Reddit. Now, a couple things we have to go into with this. First of all, it's called How I Became a Crypto Mining Millionaire in Under 2 Years During a Bear Market. So two things we have to consider is that I don't think it was ever said in this article how much hash power this guy actually has. So that's, something you have to definitely look into. So who knows? So the regular person, this probably does not apply to, but it is pretty interesting. And number two that we have to talk about, so number one is we don't know how much hash power he had. And number two, we don't know if this is actually real or not. However, regardless of its validity, even if it's totally made up, it makes a lot of sense, and it's something that a lot of crypto miners have been attempting, but maybe have failed at, and maybe it will give you some kind of idea. So this guy dumped over 250,000 Raven on hodlers and true believers at 750 to Satoshi on average. Bitcoin was sitting at 10,000 to 11,000. And guess what? I'm still respected member of the community. It's actually quite hilarious. I basically stole money from everyone right under their nose, and they all respect me. So I'm not going to read number 1 and 2. But you guys can check it out. Like I said, it's just on the cryptocurrency Reddit, and pretty easy to find. But number 3 was once you located a specific proof of work coin that has no Bitcoin talk threads, no advertisement, no shills, easier said than done, the next move is to read the white paper. It says, no, I'm just joking. Seriously, I'm joking. I honestly never read a single white paper. The only thing I focused on was the fact how whales can shill the specific coin. Is it unique? Is it trying to solve a plausible, non-confusing problem in real life? And does it have a famous company developer person attached to it? So I also like this one here, non-confusing problem, because a lot of white papers just throw out a lot of word salad, a lot of very confusing things that you're just like, I'm not going to invest in it because I have no idea what they're even talking about. Not to say that, you don't know what anybody's talking about, but a lot of times white papers are extremely confusing and just use corporate word salad to make it sound a lot better, when in reality you could have worded it in a much more clear and concise way. And then other nerds talking constantly in the Discord room, or gibberish tech talk, any well-known individuals sitting in Discord rooms. Those are the only things I look for, because crypto is all about speculation and hype, and that's what drives the prices. So we can see that this guy is pretty bearish, at least in terms of the validity of crypto and its usefulness. And that's okay, because this guy is just out to make money, and again, that's okay as well. Number 4, once you locate something that has meets the requirements, you mine it. You don't dare talk about it. You don't dare post about it. You mine it and invest in it for 2 months or so. This is a high risk reward, but it's where the game we're in. Once a thread is created shilling that specific coin, it's almost always too late. Unless you got in at the very beginning of the shilling, the pump occurs because whales are helping push the price upwards. And that mixed with new investors, it creates a situation where the only way to price to go is up. It's very easy to manipulate a market when there is almost no liquidity in said coin. Number 5, once the coin reaches a certain peak, this is where miners and investors will dump, and basically all the new investors end up losing money and blame the developers of said coin to be a scam. But the reality is it's the miners and investors who the ones who sat up all night researching, looking for the new coin projects and got in early are the ones scamming you. Yes, the ones telling you to hodl, the ones giving you the information about how great X specific coin is, we're the one unloading on you. That guy, that friendly guy giving you the information as a great community member, yeah, you're making that guy rich while you lose your shirt. He honestly doesn't give a about you. It's an illusion. Remember that. Which is true in some ways, because if you get into the coin when, you know, if you go to a Bitcoin talk forum, etc., and you see a coin that's been mineable for 3 months, you might think to yourself, well, it's only been mineable for 3 months, so that means that I can get in on this early. But the people that got the software the day that it came out, and the mining software, and the people that got onto it a week max after it came out, when the hash rate was, you know, on a kryptonite coin or something was less than, you know, a mega hash or something, or a few mega hash at best, that's when you got a lot of that coin. You were getting the rewards for many months before a lot of people even seen the coin, or a lot of people even heard shillers talking about the coin, or before the developers even sent out to other people, even before the developers advertised it, before the developers, you know, started talking to other people, and they started talking to other people. So the people that got in really close, they mined a ton of it before you even started mining it, and then as soon as it went up in value, they sold. So really, yes, it's kind of not the developers doing it, but rather the miners themselves. Number 6, this is a dirty game. It's basically blood money, and the only people making money in this game are the developers, people who create content, shovel sellers, exchange owners, hackers, and scammers. I would also say that you know, along with people who create content, is the idea that the only people making money in the game are also the hardware developers, the ones that are making graphics cards, the ones that are making ASICs, because you know, the people that are making ASICs, they sold them for $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a piece. Even more in some occasions. And if Bitcoin went down in price and you're only making $3 a day on something that you made $3,000 or $4,000, or that paid $3,000 or $4,000 for, it doesn't matter. They already got your money right off the bat. They don't have to sit there and run the miner for 3, 5, a year, 2 years in order to get their ROI back. They got their money right now. Same with exchanges. They got their money now. It doesn't matter if the price goes down. They already had the money from the start. So that's a little true too. So the people that get in early, you know, always the developers, because they end up pre-mining, and, you know, if the price is really starting to tank and there's a lot of FUD against their coin, they'll just sell it, and, you know, they ended up making money off of it. It didn't matter that they didn't make their billions or their millions, but, you know, a few $100,000 that they made off their pre-mine coin, that may be good enough for them. So it says, I made a little over 7 figures, and majority of it came from after the bull run hype of 2017. Hate me all you want, but this is how crypto mining game works. Peep game or live in denial. And everyone's saying, this is 100% true. Can't knock the hustle, I guess. Play or get played. Like, basically, nobody in here can even disagree with any of this. And so that's the idea. So, you know, the whole crypto mining scene for the home miner, I believe, is somewhat dead. However, if you have tons of rigs, minimum 30, 40, 50 graphics cards or something like that, you can still come across coins from time to time. As this guy said here, I found coins like Signatum, District, Bulwark, Lux, Raven, OXBTC, Haven, Stellite, Turtlecoin, Snowblossom, Chroma, and plenty of other coins that had insane pumps throughout their bear market. And if you were on those the day they came out, before they even had a Bitcoin forum, And I've come across a few coins from time to time that I sort of ignored, that basically were not listed on CoinMarketCap, did not have a Bitcoin talk forum, did at best had a website with a few people mining on it. And those are the kind of coins that you want to give a shot in terms of mining, because you're not going to make anything anymore mining Litecoin or Bitcoin, you know, or even just profit switching that gives you Bitcoin like nice hash or any kind of thing like that. It's just really not going to happen so much anymore. And the idea is that you know, it's more of a gamble anymore to come across some totally crappy coin that nobody is mining, that has a very poor website that nobody's ever heard of, that has, you know, that you can Google and doesn't even show up in Google, that nobody's shilling yet. And if you mine that, you'll get the coin at just tremendous speeds because nobody else is mining it, and you'll get all the rewards. You're not even splitting the rewards on a big pool anymore at this point. You're getting all the blocks, essentially. And when it does actually reach CoinMarketCap, when it does actually reach a couple exchanges, and when it does actually start getting put on forums, Reddits, Bitcoin talk forums, etc., that's when the price is going to go up from 0.000001, you know, US dollar to a penny. You know, when you're mining it at a penny, it's all good. But when you're mining it at a hundredth or a thousandth of a penny or 10,000ths of a penny, that's when you make the real profit, because even the difference between you know, 10,000ths of a penny and a penny is 10,000 fold, and you're going to make quite a bit doing that. So that's just a little advice I have for you guys, is just to find some coins that you know, go around and trying to find some coins from developers that, and again, the guy said about 2 months of work into it, so you don't really just continuously mine it the entire time, but find some coins that are just not listed anywhere, nowhere, that have just came out. We're talking weeks or days at best, that has come out, where the software is actually sort of hard to get running, where it's difficult to actually get it running. Those are the coins that you want, because if it's difficult to start mining it because there's no instructions, maybe the software is bad and you have to sort of fiddle with it a little bit, those are the coins that people are going to try once and they're going to be like, no, this is not good. And then once it finally gets fixed and everybody starts mining on it, that's when you make out. But let's head to CoinMarketCap here. $125 billion market cap, $3,700 Bitcoin. Still pretty relatively stable, at least in terms of the price, relatively stable. We're at 133 billion market cap, you know, a day or two ago. So we're starting to see a bit of decline. We have a lot of red here, but again, just going up and down. Nothing really too crazy to even talk about at the moment. Bakkt futures coming out sometime, I would imagine maybe February. Maybe it might get extended to March of next year. So we might see a bear market for a little while, and then up when it's officially announced its date that it's going to start. Bakkt futures, I believe, you know, maybe a couple weeks or maybe just on that date, we will probably see a bull run come in, and how long that bull run will last is anybody's guess, but I think it may be a hype bull run for Bakkt futures, and people will start buying into Bitcoin, you know, in preparation for its price to increase. Whether Bakkt futures actually does that or not, hype, you know, buy the rumor, sell the news type deal. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and as usual, I will see you guys next time.